was able to I was able to channel my energy into something else, and that's what I did. I played sports to channel my energy into all these different things, and I always think about that. You know, when I was young and I had to go through those physical beatings and the scars that was left in me. And I excelled in sports in high school, junior high school. I mean, junior high school and high school, and I excelled, and I became recognized, and I became recognized to be an athlete that probably would go on in life and excel. And I got drafted out of high school in 1980 by the New York Mets. I was the #1 draft pick in the country. But even with all that, being drafted and going into professional sports and excelling at that, I always remember there was always scars left in me from that childhood day of not believing that I was important, that I would never be anybody, that I would never amount to nothing. So even excelling and having a great run in a baseball career and everything, through that whole process, I always believed I wasn't never nothing. I just had this gift and this talent to be able to excel and play sports and do well. And, the scars were already there, from a childhood day, where that I went through, and I had the experience in my life. And I channeled, like I said, I channeled all my energy into, who I was as a professional athlete and coming to New York City and being able to play at the major league level, for the New York Mets, where I started when I was 21 years old, and really thrown into a fire, just a frying pan of, I was supposed to be great, but folks, I really didn't even know who I was at the age of 21. I really didn't. I experienced, all these wonderful things of, doing as a professional athlete, but I really never understood who I was as a person. And that's very difficult. That's very difficult, any young man to have to, experience a life like that. And I'm grateful to the fact that I did have the experience because you never know in your life, what God is going to use you for, and it definitely wasn't my baseball career. I'm here because, God used me for a different reason, and I'm grateful for that. I had to experience a life of pain, a life of real pain to see the light, and sometimes, we as people, we don't understand it, we criticize, the media criticize and say things about a person, but God has a purpose for each one of us. And you have to understand that God's purpose is better than ours. It might not look good when you're going through it, just like for me. It didn't look good when I had to go through I went through the highs of being successful playing, and I went through the lows of self-destructive. So I went through both avenues of that part of my life.